And well, following the Portland Trailblazers adding more centers to their team, even while also getting rid of one, they obviously bought out the contract of DeAndre Ayton, who then became a Laker, but then they drafted Yang Hansen, not to mention trading up quite a ways to get him, so they obviously value him. Obviously have Donovan Clingan, who likely will now become their new starting center, still have Duop Reith, then of course have Rob Williams kind of behind all of them. So in my opinion, yes, he definitely is on the trade block. In fact, I think he's been on the trade block for quite some time now. Reports say that he might have been on the trade block dating back to the trade deadline, that coming from Brett Siegel of Clutch Points. The Athletic even reported around the trade deadline that the Lakers were in touch about him. Now I'm not sure they made an official offer for him, but they obviously were in touch about him. And if it's dating back to the trade deadline, not only this season, but even reports saying that about last year's trade deadline, dating back to 2024 here, then they obviously have some level of interest in him. So again, with that in mind here, could this finally be the time that they make a trade for him? His trade value is obviously pretty low coming off yet another injury-prone season, so is that maybe a gateway for them to get him for cheap? Or is it maybe too big of a red flag and they should stay away from him? Could it be a viable upgrade for their backup center over Jackson Hayes, giving him more competition and therefore maybe giving them another option? Maybe. We'll talk about that, what it would take to get him, what the trade package or trade packages might look like, and simply if it would be a good option or not, in my opinion of course. So without further ado here, briefly talking about what Rob Williams did last season and the time that he was off the court, as we cannot forget to touch on that here. No matter what way you look at it, that's the number one thing and number one concern with Rob Williams III. Last season playing only 20 NBA games, yes, only 20 out of a possible 82. During the 2023-24 NBA season, only playing 6, yes 6, even worse. Even dating back to 2022-23, only playing 35 games, so that amounts to a grand total of roughly 61 games in the past 3 years now. Obviously a gigantic red flag. Now he is only 27, so maybe there's hope they could eventually become more durable. I mean, for his sake, I really hope so. I'd hate to see him play only 30 to even less games per year, not hit the 50 game mark, not show off what he can do on the court, because he really is a very good player when he's on the court. Obviously talking about his defense, rim protection, athletic ability. I mean, they call the guy Time Lord for a reason. Is an athletic freak for his position, is 6'9" with a 7'6" wingspan. I'd imagine probably a near 40-inch vertical to go with it. Great rim protector, great lob threat, switchable defender even at center, truly can defend and switch 1 through 5 on the court at times, and you can rely on him to be a good defensive option when he's actually on the court. So then translating that to actual trade talk and an actual trade package, I wouldn't be willing to give up a very good one for Rob Williams. Again, like the guy and I think he'd be a decent fit, but if we're talking about a trade package and trade value for him, it's not very high and not worth very much in my opinion. And then to even factor onto that more, following the Lakers trading or actually waiving both Shake Milton and Jordan Goodwin, they don't have a minimum contract to combine with Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber to make a trade work for Rob Williams. And no, we can't trade either Gabe Vincent or Maxi Kleber and actually make the trade work. With the Lakers pushing that first apron and only being roughly $1 million below it, if they would trade Vincent or Kleber for Rob Williams, that would push them over that first apron, therefore making their team ineligible and pushing their payroll up too high. After they use both the taxpayer mid-level and the biannual exception, they have to stay below that first apron. So if we're going to trade for Rob Williams, we actually have to expand the trade. Not only trade for himself, but then add another teammate with him, which in my opinion would actually be a pretty good thing and actually make a trade more viable for Rob Williams. As for myself, I'd look to add Matisse Thybulle, a player I've talked about plenty of times here on the channel and a player I think would be a great fit for the LA Lakers. I mean, for me personally, I think their biggest need left is a 3-and-D wing, a legitimate two-way option on the wing that can defend and match up at least 1 through 3. Again, I love the addition of Marcus Smart, getting them a very good point of attack defensive option, even a smaller wing defender, a guy that can defend 1 through 2 and sometimes 1 through 3, but they need a more true reliable wing defender option that can actually offer some 3-point shooting too, as Vanderbilt can't exactly do the 3-point shooting part. So expanding the trade here and what that might look like, trading for both Rob Williams and Matisse Thybulle, then we can trade both Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and unfortunately have to include Dalton Knecht, but actually be able to make the trade work financially. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.